Yesterday, we stopped at this paragraph about capacity for moral and spiritual development depends upon the material conditions of the society in which they live. Today, we are going to continue with this paragraph. The first two texts included here prescribe two sets of guidelines for the monastic order. Both are excerpts from a long discourse the Buddha spoke shortly after the death of Mahavira. Who is Mahavira? He is the leader of the Jains. According to the Nikayas, following the leader's death, the Jain monastic order was already beginning to split up, and the Buddha must have felt compelled to lay down guidelines to protect his own order from sharing the same fate after his passing. Text 4.6.1 enumerates 6 qualities that lead to quarrels and disputes, which the monks should be wary of and strive to eliminate when they discover them within themselves. Although these guidelines are laid down for the monks, they can easily be given a wider application to any organization, secular or religious, for it is the same 6 factors that lie at the bottom of all conflicts. What are these 6 factors? We will find out when we read the sutta. The positive counterpart to this set of cautionary guidelines is text 4.6.2, which enumerates 6 principles of cordiality that lead to love, respect, and harmony among the members of the community. Again, with appropriate adaptation, these principles, loving acts of body, speech, and mind, sharing of possessions, common observance of precepts, and unity of views, can be given an extended application beyond a monastic order to the wider community. The same sutta provides more detailed guidelines for preserving harmony in the monastic order after the Buddha's death, but these deal with aspects of monastic discipline too specialized for the present anthology. So I think Bhikkhu Bodhi does not include this section specialized for the monastic order, but if you want to find out more, we can go to the source of this sutta. That's for this paragraph. Next one, Sister Choi Kwan, would you like to read?
Text 4, 6.3. A long excerpt from the Asalayana Sutta captures the Buddha in debate with a precocious Brahmin Pandit about the Brahmin's claims on behalf of the caste system. In the Buddha's age, the caste system was only beginning to take shape in northeast India and had not yet spawned the countless subdivisions and rigid regulations that were the medical Indian society through the centuries. Society was divided into 4 broad social classes: the Brahmins, who performed the priestly functions prescribed in the Vedas; the Khattiyas, the nobles, warriors, and administrators; the Vasas, the merchants and agriculturists; and the Sudras, the menials and serfs. There were also those outside the pale of these 4 main classes, who were regarded as even lower than the Sudras. From the Nikayas, it appears that the Brahmins, while vested with authority in religious matters, had not yet attained the unchallengeable hegemony they were to gain after the appearance of such works as the Law of Manu, which laid down the fixed rules of the caste system. They had, however, already embarked on their drive for domination over the rest of Indian society and did so by propagating the thesis that Brahmins are the highest caste, the divinely blessed offspring of Brahma, who are alone capable of purification. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Sister Chekwan. Okay, so this paragraph talk about the Indian caste system. Let's see. Caste, this is pronounced as caste. Let's take a look at one difficult word here, precocious. The first definition of a child having developed certain abilities or proclivities at an earlier age than usual. Second definition of behavior or ability indicative of early development. And the last one regarding plants, flowering or fruiting earlier than usual. So all indicates the meaning of early development. So it's an early development Brahmin Pandit about the Brahmins' claim on the behalf of the caste system. Okay. What are these caste system back then in the India? The first one, in the sutta, you will see a lot of terms. You will often see the Brahmins. So this is the Brahmins who perform the priestly functions prescribed in the the Brahmins perform the priestly functions prescribed in the Vedas. The Khatyas were the Khatyas, nobles, warriors, and administrators. If I'm not mistaken, the Khatyas in the Sanskrit is also called the Kshatriya, which there's an Indonesian word for that, Kshatriya, which means the same, warriors. The third one is the Vesas, the merchants and agriculturalists. And the last one is the Sudras, the menials and the serfs. Let's take a look what's menials. Okay, as a noun, this means a person with a menial job or a domestic servant. And serfs is an agricultural laborer bound under the feudal system to work on his lord's estate. So here, the Sudras will reflect the slaves during the Indian times. And then outside of these four classes, there are people even regarded as noble in the Sudras, at least in the Indians during that time. Okay, here let's take a look at this word, hegemony. Hegemony means leadership or dominance exercised by one country or social group over others. Okay, here it means the Brahmins, while they are powerful at that time, they are not able to achieve dominance yet. During those times, let me highlight this. Then Bhikkhu Bodhi highlighted they had, however, already embarked on their drive for domination over the rest of Indian society. How? By propagating the thesis that Brahmins are the highest caste, the divinely blessed offspring of Brahma, who are alone capable of purification. So sometimes you see the words Brahmins And then sometimes you see the word of Brahma. So don't get confused between these two. Brahmins means the people they regard as the highest caste in the Indian system, and Brahma is a heavenly being. So even though they sounded similar, we should differentiate between them. Next one, Sister Akim, would you like to read?
Contrary to certain popular notions, the Buddha did not agitate for the abolition of the Indian class system, an attempt to establish a classless society. Within the Sangha, however, all caste distinctions were abrogated from the moment of ordination. People from any of the four social classes who went forth under the Buddha renounced their class titles and prerogatives, becoming known simply as disciples of the Sakyang son, that is, of the Buddha, who is from the Sakyang clan. Whenever the Buddha and his disciples confronted the Brahmins, claimed to superiority, they argued vigorously against them. As our text shows, the Buddha maintained that all such claims were groundless. Purification, he contended, was not the result of conduct, not of birth, and was thus accessible to those of all four castes. The Buddha even stripped the term Brahmin of its hereditary accreditations and harkening back to its original connotations of holy man, define the true Brahmin as the Arahant. See Majjhima Nikaya 98, not included in this anthology.
Thanks, Sister Akim. So here, Bhikkhu Bodhi starts with, okay, the Buddha did not go around, become the social justice warrior and campaign for a classless society. He's abolishing the caste system. No, yeah, the Buddha didn't do this. However, within the Sangha, if someone wants to come to the Buddha and ordain, then the Buddha insists that they abandon all their identity, renounce their class titles and prerogatives, becoming known simply as the disciple of the Sakyan son. Who is the Sakyan son? Of course, it's the Buddha himself. Okay, that's about this paragraph. The next one, Sister Billy, would you like to read?
The next two selections suggest guidelines for political administration. During the Buddha's time, two distinct forms of government prevailed among the states of northern India, in which the Buddha moved and taught: monarchical kingdoms and tribal republics. As a spiritual teacher, the Buddha did not prefer one type of government to the other, nor did he actively interfere in affairs of state. But his followers included leaders from both types of state, and thus he occasionally offered them guidance intended to ensure that they would govern their realms in accordance with ethical norms.
Okay, thanks, Sister Billy.
Thank you.
This paragraph, after talking about the caste system in the previous paragraph, now we touch on the political aspect. Okay, I think this line is important. During that time here, Bhikkhu Bodhi mentioned there are two parties, so they adopt two-party system. However, this line is important. As a spiritual teacher, the Buddha did not prefer one type of government to the other, nor did he actively interfere in affairs of state. So he left himself out of the politics. However, sometimes his followers go to him and ask questions It's not like the Buddha dipped his toes in the politics, but his followers were from politics and happened to ask the Buddha's question. And that's why the Buddha were able to give them the guidance with regards to how to rule the kingdom.
愿消三障除烦恼，愿得智慧真明了，不愿追障悉消除，世世常行菩萨道。阿弥陀佛。
Thanks, Sister Chaikwan. Till we meet again, may we be guided by the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Have a classless Friday ahead. Yeah, no caste between us. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you guys next time.